Hello, hello. Happy Monday. It's Monday, you guys. Are you excited? You should be. Today is day one of the sprint. So come on in. I'm waiting for everybody to get on in here so we can start talking about what's next. So I hope everybody had a fabulous weekend and you're ready for the sprint. I've got everything happening here and I just want to make sure that we're all ready to go. I see Marla, yay. There's Deb and Jan. Guys, come on in. We got things to do. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday, 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 Monday. I see Bobby and Diane. Tracy's in here. Yay. Good job. Come on in, you guys. There's Faye, Elaine. Happy Motivational Monday. Are you motivated? Are you excited? I am. We got so many cool things going on right now. Just so many cool things. It is our second big sprint. And so far, everybody is just, they're stepping up to the plate and they're ready to do it. What can I say? And this is what I want to, this is what I want to see, because honestly, when you're all in, instead of half-heartedly doing it, when you're all in, when you planned, when you've got actual things cooking, when you're a farmer and you've got your sprouts going, you got your apple cider vinegar sitting out on the counter, that's when the needle moves. The needle moves because you are in it. We can't expect to not take part in something and be all in and have it mean anything. Have you noticed that? I've noticed that for myself. You can't passively just have something happen to you. That's so rare that happens. And for us to expect that without giving any effort is crazy town. I mean, this is the carousel of crazy once again, and just like expecting one thing, one day to make all the difference in the world. It's not like that. It comes from consistent effort. And today I want to talk to you about that consistency, because the consistency, well, first of all, putting the planning in place, yes, and putting some actual action behind all of that is what happens when you get the results by doing the plan. But consistency over a long period of time, that is the thing that is going to push the ball down the field in a big way. That is your motivation. And I just, I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. And gosh, we have 182 people here. These are my sprinters. So come on and sprint. You guys, this is going to be one of the biggest things that you can do. And ask anybody who's already sprinted how this has changed just the course of even everyday life. And if you are one of those sprinters, go ahead and tell in the comments, say what has happened for you after just doing one sprint. And there's a lot of ways to measure success. Measuring success, of course, we always love to look at that scale, don't we? That scale has so much power over our lives. And I say take it down a notch. It's just another measuring tool. There's also this, you guys. This. This is the thing that changes, because, I just did my measurements and put my weight in. I was kind of discouraged. My weight is the same since we ended our last sprint. I haven't gained, I haven't lost, really. I mean, I've just kind of played with a couple of pounds up and down. It's just, how it is. But I did all my measurements and guess what? 3.5 inches gone. And my size 10 jeans that I'm in right now, I'm wearing jeans right now, they're bagging at the waist. Hello. I will take that. That is another measuring stick. But you know what the other measuring stick is? How do you feel? How are you feeling? Are you feeling better? Is your pain less? Is your doctor saying, hey, guess what? We need to cut back on that medication? We've seen all of that in the sprint. We have seen all of that. And I will tell you, if you want to see some measurable results without like massive measurements, go look at Marla's pictures on Fly Lady. I hope she posted the one she just sent me today, because ridiculous. I don't even know who the other woman in the picture is. A woman who's 10 years older than the Marla who's here now. It's just amazing. Your weight goes down, yes. The inflammation goes down, yes. And you feel better. How crazy is that? you feel amazing. And if you start feeling amazing, other things start to happen. Your body wants to heal. Understand that. Cooperate with that understanding of how your body innately works. This is how it is, you know? I love this part because it makes me aware that I can cooperate and be a part of that wellness journey, that healing journey for my body. I can be a part of that. You can be a part of that too. And it comes from being aware. It comes from keeping a food journal. It comes from understanding and connecting the dots that, oh, this is causing a problem for me. Or, oh, this is something that is good for me because every time I do this, I watch the needle go down on the scale, or I feel better. When I remove this, I feel better. When I do this, I feel better. I mean, how can that not be something that's so powerful that keeps you consistently going up that same mountain, you know? And sometimes it is a mountain. Sometimes it is a mountain to climb. But remember, you did not get here overnight. This was not something that just, whoop, you popped up and suddenly, oh my gosh, how did I get 50 pounds extra on my frame? That didn't happen overnight. It probably didn't happen over the course of a year. It happened over the course of time. You know, a little bit here and a little bit there. We never gain weight, you guys, by the pound. It's by the ounce. And that's how we lose it too. By the ounce. And it's our consistency. It's our standing by those consistent things that we know to be absolutes that makes all the difference. We get rid of the inflammatory foods. We start drinking the water that we need to help our body to do the cleansing that it needs to do and the healing. We give it the support that it needs. We make sure that it's nutrient-dense food. Nutrient-dense food. And then we look at things like blood sugar, and we look at, you know, as far as how far we want to measure. We know that as we get older, our blood sugar is going to go up. That's just part and parcel. So is our cholesterol. You know, that's part and parcel too. And I'm not going to get on cholesterol right now, but cholesterol is a theory. Cholesterol tests are theories, by the way. They are not proven facts. So keep that in mind. Catherine says, oh, we have results. He lost over 50 and me over 25 pounds. That is intense. That's amazing. And by the way, Catherine, who is posting this right now, Catherine Campanola, you're the winner of, whoops, see, I've got your name right here on the book. You're the winner of the low carb book this week. Thank you so much for sharing. And everybody who, listen, you guys share this stuff because you have people in your life that you care about. And they're probably here on your Facebook feed. When you share it, this is how you get people into your pool, into your little circle. This is how you start to share what's going on. People are going to start asking, what are you doing? You look great. What are you doing? You've obviously lost weight. Well, tell them what you're doing. This is free. I want to see as many people as we can get possibly into our little tribe have the same kind of results, because it's not just a matter of cute size 6 jeans that I want to get my butt into. We all have that. We all have that vanity thing. We want to be less. We want to look better. But the bigger picture is how this is going to influence our health, how this is going to influence how we react with our families and what we're able to do. This opens the doors for a bigger life. Look at it that way. It opens the doors for a bigger life. We limit ourselves so often, and we don't even look at that limitation. We don't even look at the fact that we're limiting ourselves. We look at the fact that, oh, well, I just can't fill in the blank. And that's just been a part of our whatever. But if we look at it from the perspective of, well, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that I have to ask for a seatbelt extender when I go on a trip on a plane. It doesn't have to be that I have to not get on those rides with the kids at the amusement park, unless it's going to make me sick to my stomach. That's my problem. It doesn't have to be that I have to say no to this trip, or that I can't do the hike, or I can't go skiing, or I can't go play golf, or I can't. You can have an activity level brought back into your life that maybe you haven't had in a few years. What about that? You can have things that you can say yes to now, because now you can do them because you've started taking care of yourself and life is changing. That's huge. It is huge when we start to move the needle in our lives, because the world does open up. The world does open up. And I'll say this too, that, as a foodie, as somebody who has always adored and loved food and eating and cooking and buying it and all of that, my obsession with it has chilled somewhat. That doesn't mean that I've stopped enjoying all these things. It just means that I have recognized that whole thing can be the path toward destruction too. And that, just like alcoholics, we have to kind of limit what it is that we do, we who love food, and we who adore eating food have to just be careful. And stepping back and reevaluating our plates, reevaluating what it is that we're, considering, oh, but this is good food, I need to be eating this. Like, for example, I had a sweet potato argument with a woman who Facebook argued me. And I was like, you're not going to die if you don't eat another sweet potato. You're not going to die if you don't eat another carbohydrate. You will die if you don't get fat. You will die if you don't get protein. You will die if you don't get water. Those are the essential nutrients right there. And in those foods are all the nutrients that you need, right? It's interesting. So for some, we give latitude. We give a lot of latitude. But we also need to come down to, what is poison in my life? You need to identify your own poison. And for me, it's chocolate. Is chocolate poison for you? Maybe not. But for me, it is. I can't have it. I can't do it. I can't, I have a video of me making these little fat bombs for my hot melt diet from, I think, 2016, 2017. And I ate the whole damn thing. I ate them all within a few days. One fat bomb after the other. It was just like somebody might as well have opened a box of Godiva chocolate. Because for me, it was like game on. I saw those and my eyeballs went, oh, I can have those. But no, you can't. No, you can't, Leanne. We know what this looks like, right? That is my motivation for not going back there again. I know what this looks like. Every single time I try to play in that pool, I end up almost drowning. So I don't go to the chocolate pool anymore. I stay clear, far, far away. So those are the things you need to look at. Now, if a fat bomb is going to save you from going crazy when you go out, and a fat bomb works for you, then have the darn fat bomb. Get fat bombs. Make them. I will not say no to you. I will not. But understand a couple of things. If it's a slippery slope for you, I bet you it's going to be a slippery slope for you again. Understand that. Number 2, understand about sugar dysregulation. Not everybody is afflicted with this, but this is why in the sprint, we take out all the sugar or anything that has sweet in it. And that includes stevia. That includes monk fruit. Those good, fake sugars. Stevia is made from a plant. It's safe. It's a good substitute, but not necessarily, not for everybody. And sometimes, if we're going to be really honest with ourselves, we just need to step away from sweet. We just need to step away. And when somebody, this is one of the big conversations that I have had repeatedly. And that is about, what do I do for baking? And I think, okay, baking. What does baking look like? You can bake bread, you can bake muffins, you can bake cakes, you can bake pies, you can bake cupcakes, you can banana breads, you can bake cheesecake, bake. What do we bake? The things that we bake are the things that we don't need. Nobody is going to die if you never, ever, ever have any of those things that I listed, ever. And my question to you is, have you not baked enough? Are you sitting on what you've baked? Come on, let's be honest. It's true. And as much as I have tried to go to the healthy baking space, excuse me, I don't see, it makes me sneeze. Pardon me. As much as I've tried to go to the healthy baking space, I can't. It doesn't work for me. It's a slippery slope. It's a sweet slippery slope. And down that sweet slippery slope is, therein lies everything else. And it's a trigger for binge eating. And any of you who've ever had any kind of eating disorder, you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever had any kind of eating disorder where you overeat, you binge, you purge, or you just don't eat, and I'm not talking about fasting, I'm talking about starving yourself. If you've ever been in that place, if you've been in that awful, awful place, then you know that you just can't stop eating food like an alcoholic can stop drinking alcohol. We have to still eat food. And it doesn't mean that you need to start doing things that are not pleasurable. It just means that you have to just look at things from a whole different perspective. And you have to really delineate the rules for yourself. We have to have rules for ourselves. My rules might not be your rules, because you can have a fat bomb and I cannot. But we have to start understanding that our own inner nutritional guru is beyond wise. And when you understand what she's telling you, you need to be listening. Pay attention. That small, but very strong voice of wisdom that's inside of you that is wanting to steer your ship is going to take you to the right place. Now, I'm not talking about the siren's call of like, eat all the Cheetos, get the Doritos, all, and all the garbage that's out there. Of course not. I mean, we all have that push me, pull you, of getting rid of those kind of cravings and what have you. It takes some doing. And this is where the consistency comes in. Because even if you're not getting the results that you want, remember it took you a long time to get the results that you don't want. It's going to take a minute to unwind all of that. It's going to take a minute to undo those knots that are in the necklace. And it's going to take a community. It takes a village, as was very famously quoted a long time ago. It does take a village. We need each other. We need the help from our peers. We need somebody who just is going to say, hey, give me a kick in the butt. I'm really falling down here. And we need to be very, very, very in tune to what's going on inside and listen to our own inner nutritional guru. If you are eating something that is taking you to the place of you're going to make a big, big mistake here soon, then listen to that. Quit towing the line. We have you know what? We have such a propensity toward getting toward that cliff and sitting there right on the edge and seeing how far we can go before we fall over. Is that not the truth? And think about it, think about all the people that you know that have gained weight, and maybe you're one of them, lost it, gained it back, lost it, gained even more back, and back and forth they've gone. What we want to do is we want to get out of that. We want to get off. That's what I call the carousel of crazy. We want to get off the carousel of crazy, where we're going up and down with our weight and around, and it keeps going. There's no getting off. There is getting off if you pull the plug, though. Those carousels are run by electricity, and you can pull the plug. You just have to find it. And sometimes that is a finding place for yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying with that? You have to find it yourself. What is the thing that puts me back into that spinning cycle that never ends? What is it? Marla identified this when she was talking, I think it was over the weekend, and she said, I will never eat another carb again. Now, that wasn't a declaration of, well, yeah, it was a declaration. It was a manifesto of sorts. And the reason why is it's a recognition of, after all these months of doing things consistently, of tracking her results, seeing what her all the measurements, the food, writing down the food, what she ate, watching things on the scale, writing it all down. She's able to go back and connect the dots to see where the patterns are. And when you can see where the patterns are, you know where your pattern disrupt is, right? And you also know this works, aha, here we go. Circle that, because that is the thing that will throw you down. That's the thing that's causing a problem. So what does that mean? That means that you let go of it. That means that it's time to go and to knock that out of the park. Get rid of it. This is exactly what you need to be doing. This is exactly how you need to be looking at the things that you're doing. If you have a strategy and if you have the consistency to keep it up and to see what you're doing and you're writing things down, it all changes. This is how you get rid of just this diet mentality. Because you know what, even though on Saving Dinner, I'm a nutritionist for 25 years, I've written many diets. My goal is to give you a structure to get started and then get you off of it 100%. I want you out. I don't want to keep you forever in buying my next diet. It's not what I want. It's not what I want for you. You know why? Because you should be able to teach yourself using these guidelines and getting them into your body, into your head, so that anytime you go anywhere, you know exactly what to do. Faced with a menu, faced with a cruise. We've had, I think it was Catherine. She and her husband went on a cruise and they lost weight. You know, what did they do? They did exactly what we're doing now. They are intermittently fasted. They drank their water. They did a lot of flights. You get an opportunity to do a ton of flights when you're on a cruise. I used to do 30 to 40 a day when I was on a cruise. Just make sure you've got the appropriate shoes on. And they ate when they were hungry. They stopped when they were full, and they watched the carbs. And guess what? Ta-da! It worked. Did they feel deprived? No, of course not. They felt absolutely 100% strengthened. So, while I do want to make you independent, I also want to bring you into the place of understanding that you need support too. Nobody needs to be a one-man show. No one. When you're a one-man show and you're doing it all by yourself, it gets hard. Because when the hard times come, and they do, there's temptation all around you. There are people bringing, boxes of Krispy Kreme and what have you into your office. I mean, there's always going to be something, right? Just understand that. But gird yourself up too at the same time. Gird yourself up. Tell your sisters, oh, help me, Wednesday's going to be tough because I have to go to this thing and they're going to have all these things there. And you will see 10 people fly in and go, have a smoothie before you go. Make sure you do the blah, blah, blah. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. Drink your water and go. Having a community, I will tell you, I will never be without a community. I will never not be in a community. Even if I know how to do everything that I know how to do, I need to have my community. I need to know somebody has my back. Always. And that's what we do. And that's really the beauty, the best thing I think about Facebook is that ability to create those communities. And it makes such a difference. But if you are struggling and you're not getting an education, I'm going to ask you to create that for yourself, to create space in your life to start getting yourself an education and understanding what your motivation is for not being motivated. If you haven't read Body Clutter, there it is. Go read it. Read it. This is a story, and this is telling the stories of our own struggle on how we used food. We kind of weaponized food, is what it was, to keep away feelings we didn't want to look at. We all do that. The community aspect of Body Clutter is now here. It's here. It's in Fly Lady's videos on a daily basis. It's here in the sprint. And we have the ability to get together every single month, I think, every time we're in zone 2, to really get concentrated on what it is that we need to do in order to get to the next level. And there's always a next level. we can always feel better. We can always feel the best, better and better every time. We can always do better, you know? And it's not about perfection, it's about excellence. And when we plan, we get to do things excellently. And when we execute, we get to feel good about what we just did. And that builds the confidence to keep us going so that we keep going and do the next step. So I want to encourage you right now as you're doing day one, as you're starting day one in the sprint. This is the most incredible thing that you can do to kick off your health journey because it clears the decks and gets rid of the inflammation. And every single thing that we do within the sprint has a reason and has a purpose. You can ask me about any of it. Why are we drinking the apple cider vinegar? To get blood sugar levels down. Why are we drinking bone broth? To heal our gut and to get some L-glutamine in, which will help with the cravings. Why are we eating so many greens? Because we are all nutrient starved. Most of us are overfed and undernourished. And I underline that. Overfed, we have fat butts that we're sitting on, and undernourished because our cells are screaming for nourishment. Screaming. All that garbage doesn't give you the nourishment that you need. The nutrient density comes from the food. And you get the protein that you need so your body can do the repair and the healing necessary in your body. You have to have protein to do that. Just remember that you have to. You need the nutrient density of the rest of it. And that is why we do what we do in order to build this solid foundation. Solid foundation. The fat is there, and the fiber, and the smoothies, and the target trifecta, the three things. We've got fiber, fat, and protein, always in everything. It is there to help get your body in the place that it needs so that it can heal and so that you can continue on your journey. It's that cool. And it is cool. So, get going. If you have not yet gotten going, do it. I'm using my little Fly Lady calendar, and this is how I, because I keep a record, this is how I know that my measurements were different. This is why I'm not discouraged. I'm encouraged. Even though I'm going, gosh, my weight is still the same, blah, 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 blah. Of course I do that, like everybody else. But if you've got everything written down, you can go back and look at it and go, whoa, good for me. Isn't that exciting? I like that. So don't forget, during this whole time for the sprint, it's Monday, starting today, through Sunday. And then we weigh and measure again on Monday, first thing, so we can see the difference, so we can see what we've done. You have the ability, if you want to weigh and to weigh yourself every day if you want to, or you can put your scale away, or whatever you want to do. Totally up to you. My suggestion, though, is that you only measure this one time, the beginning, and then measure at the end on the Monday. That's when you've completed the full 7 days. And I know the weekends are difficult and people kind of go a little bit, radio silent, and I'm posting like a crazy person on the weekends because I don't want you to go off the rails. But I will be checking in with you and keeping this going all through all 7 days. Number one, and number two, if you have questions, you can post them. But I will be, the one thing that I'm just a stickler about, I can tell if you've read the paperwork or not. And I am like a meanie teacher. If you haven't gone and gotten the sprint, downloaded it, printed out, and read it, I will call you out. Just like a teacher, right? You need to read the material. You need to read the material, then post. If you say, hey, I have a clarity question. Let me help you. All right? So make sure you also get into the sprint group, because the sprint group is unbelievably supportive. And Bobby has promised every single day to do a Facebook Live. And at some point she will be dancing. You don't want to miss that. So thank you for joining me today. And don't forget, keep track, guys. Keep track. This is how we get it done. Read Body Clutter. Read all the books. If you have questions, I'm here for you. Gold stars. Let's get her done. I'm excited about this sprint this time. so excited and I'm expecting great results. So participate with your body. Your body is ready for this. So let's do it. Alrighty, I will see you at 3 o'clock for tea time. I've already got my tea all set up and ready to go because I'm a planner. I don't know about you, but I am a planner. And I will talk to you later. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.